Welcome to this week's OK at Work with myself, Sarah Sawyer, and my colleague, Russell Berger, both attorneys at Offit Kurman. And today we are talking about taxes. It's April, it's tax season. Everyone's doing their taxes. Maybe some of you have already done it months ago when the year ended. A lot of us probably still working through our taxes, business taxes, personal taxes, all of those things. A fun time of year, of course, especially for our accounting friends. But today we're talking about the impact of taxes throughout legal work. So it comes up in a lot of different places in business and especially also in legal deals and different legal work that we're doing with our clients. So what are some things that people should be thinking about as it relates to taxes, Russell?
Yeah, I think just as a general rule, it's probably a good idea to say, what are the tax consequences of this decision I'm about to make 100% of the time? It's always worth considering. It's always a question. I know as a counselor, as any professional type person would, I have some basic knowledge of tax, but I don't understand the ins and outs of the tax law. So oftentimes my advice to a client is you should talk to your accountant about this before you make a final decision. Or this makes some sense to me, but we should dive deeper and make sure we're tax compliant. Or talk to one of my colleagues who's a tax attorney because this is nuanced and this can be a little bit messy. But just having that as a starting point, if I'm moving money around and moving it from one person to another, one entity to another, whatever it might be, I should look closer at this and I should make sure I know how it's going to impact me because it can be a big difference. You start talking about some of the percentages that could come out and the difference between capital gains and ordinary income. That can be a significant thing.
Yeah, it's definitely something we see and strategize around as it relates to settlements and lawsuits, as it relates to deals, as it relates to change in ownership, all the way from the beginning of also just setting up a business. What's that business look like? What's the future look like? What do the owners look like? What's the purpose of it? And tax planning and strategy around that. And it's something that as lawyers, obviously we have tax attorneys that we work with, and it's a pretty specialized area in a lot of ways. It's changing a lot, as everyone sees in the headlines often. And there's state and federal, and so there's a lot of layers to it. But we also work really closely with accountants on this often as well to try to get that full holistic picture of what does this look like, making sure that you're checking all the angles.
And that's why, particularly for a business owner, you should have your team of advisors. There isn't one answer that one specialist on your team is going to know all the time. You're running a comprehensive business and you need to look at legal implications, legal risk, impact on sales, impact on taxes, the impact on cash flow. So you need people to look at it from different perspectives, try to put it all together. And through that process, you can then make an informed and best decision.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Justin. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Sarah.